Hello, this is Stephanie Lanter, and here is a video on how to unpack the piece Invocation. It is a ceramic sculpture composed of 3 parts, and you can see here the inner boxes that were taken out of the outer boxes used for shipping. I suggest allotting an hour for unpacking and installation. Please note that in this video some parts are sped up for efficiency. Here's an overview of all 3 parts: the bottom base, the middle part bonk, and the top part emotional. The light gray base is the heaviest and strongest part. It's coil built. It weighs about 15 pounds. Throughout this video, it might be helpful for you to identify the words and the letters in the middle piece bonk and the top piece emotional. This is how I refer to them throughout. Box 2 has the porcelain slip-trailed middle piece bonk. And box 3 has the top piece, the most fragile part, emotional, which is also slip-trailed. The overall dimensions are 18 inches high, 12 inches wide, and 9 inches deep, with a pedestal approximate height of 40 inches and 15-inch square top. Okay, we're going to start with the first box, one of 3, and this piece is the base here. It is the heaviest part. So be aware of that. I'm going to cut it open and untie this top part that is secured, and this is in the shape of the piece so you can see. I have some paper set down here. You just want something clean to unload the piece on, as well as the foam. So all of these works are encased in layers of foam that are numbered, so it should be easy to redo. Carefully just take the foam away from the edges of each piece. And when you get down to the number 1, you could probably lift the piece out. You're going to want another piece of foam to put the piece on when you lift it out. And once again, it is heavy. So with clean hands, because the piece is white, go ahead and lift it here, and from the bottom, lift it straight out, and then you can put it down. And as you can see here, the piece has a flat bottom, and it will eventually be set up like this. After you finish unpacking the piece, put the layers of foam back in the box in order to make repacking much easier. Now we're moving on to box 2 of 3. And this is the middle piece. It's medium sized, but this part is a lot less heavy. It is slip-trailed, and so it is definitely more fragile than the coil-built base. So you're going to want to be a lot more careful with this one. This is based on the word bonk. That's the outline there. And this is encased in foam the same way. So you can carefully take the foam out. Since this piece is slip-trailed porcelain, it is, like I said, a lot more fragile. So you're just going to want to take the foam off a little bit more carefully. Pulling the foam away from the clay. And then the bottom here, we can probably take it out. So both hands, you can grab from either side, lift it straight up. And you're gonna want a piece of foam to put it on. This is from all perspectives, it's flat on the bottom, but so we can lay it down flat. Once again, go ahead and put all of the foam back in the box so that it's easier to deal with later. So now we have the third box, and this is the top part, and this is the smallest and most fragile part. So it's also the lightest weight. So once again, the outline of the piece is on the top. This word is emotional. And again, just be very, very careful taking the foam off of this piece. It's got a lot of little fill-ins here. And you want to just pull the foam away from the piece. When you lift this piece out, again, both hands clean, and just grab it gently so that you're holding on to the whole thing. Make sure you have a piece of foam to put it on. And again, it has a flat back. You can probably rest it that way. That would be the most stable way to set it down. And once again, as you can see, we have all three parts laying flat on foam, accessible. I've got my box with a picture close by so that I can see what I'm doing. First thing we're going to do is we're going to set the base up. Small side on the bottom, flat side facing the front for this setup purpose. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the second piece on. So this piece, the B part, goes to the bottom, and it kind of rests on the right side. Once you get it in there really well, it's very stable. Should be centered this way also. If you want to put museum wax down, you can put some down to stabilize it, but it's really stable. So then we're going to put the last piece on, this top emotional piece. And this is the trickiest part. So the best idea is to identify the letters in the top piece, emotional, and the bottom piece, bonk, and line up the bottom of the A in emotional with the third sort of branch on the top of the K in bonk. They fit together like gears, so you sort of have to kind of lock the two parts in place. The diagram can be helpful. The L is going to hang off the edge, and then the E on the emotional top part is going to really support itself by one little small point.
It's really, really stable. It might take you a minute to get it lined up, but once you get it on there, it locks right into place. That's what it looks like from the back. From the side and the front. When you're ready to take it apart, just do it in reverse. Take the top part off first.
Repacking all three of the pieces is going to be the same process. You're going to want to start with the piece on foam set to the side, and then you're going to remove all the foam from the box. The bottom of each box should have an outline of the piece that you're going to match up. You're going to place the piece right on that outline, and then you're going to proceed with adding the numbered layers of foam, starting with the number 1. And then proceeding through 2, 3, 4, etc. as you go along. Please pull the foam very, very carefully away from the ceramic piece to sort of hug it, to surround it, so that the piece cannot move on the inside of the box. Take care for small protrusions, little details that are sticking out as you go along. Orienting the foam sheets so that the numbers and the labels match as you go is really critical to make sure that the cutouts align with the piece. Take your time with this process, and when there are gaps on the side or on the top, you can use the little scraps of foam to fill in and stabilize.